Your mindset can be very interesting. I think when you decide to change how you interact with the world and interact with yourself, it can completely change the way you experience life. So for example, I, at a certain point, quite recently, really got into this hole of thinking that I was really ugly. I decided that I was unattractive. I just was so unhappy with myself and the way I looked, and I had never in my life thought of myself as an ugly person. I mean, I know I'm not Brad Pitt or Idris Elba, but I'd never thought of myself as an ugly person. And the more I started to think that, the more I started to notice things that I hated. So I'd be like, my nose is this, my hairline's this, my eyes, and got bags on my skin, and spot my beard, my skin, and I had to really one day sit down and be like, what is going on here? And I realized that if you view yourself as ugly, you will see ugly things. You will find more and more ugly things to look at. If you view yourself as beautiful or smart or interesting or whatever, you'll find beautiful, smart, and interesting things about yourself. And so what is inside you comes out and then affects how you then see yourself. And so I would think I was going through a phase of feeling unhappy and dissatisfied and unmotivated, and I was picking apart my life, and then the last thing that was left to pick apart was something I can't change, which is my physical appearance. I mean, obviously I can lose weight and whatever, but in terms of my facial makeup, I can't change my eyebrows or my hairline or my nose or my teeth or my lips. And I never got to such a low place until that point when I was like looking at myself and thinking, I am generally not good looking, and this is a shame, and how would I not notice? And I was looking at people online and saying I'm not even close to that, and of course I'm not to some people, but it's not about that. Like, it's more about the way I was interacting with the world was so heavily influenced with how I saw myself. And then it made me realize that the way people see themselves affects how they reflect and see you and engage with you. So if someone is unhappy, they might do things to you and engage with you in a way that might make you think, what is it with me that's wrong? What have I done wrong? But actually, I've realized that quite often the behavior is a reflection of how the person's feeling internally. So someone that's insecure might be an insecure friend to you. Someone who's not confident might have issues with your confidence. And so I've learned to try and think, when something happens to me externally coming from a person, what does that behavior say about that person, how they feel about themselves, and how is that a reflection of maybe what they're struggling with? And maybe actually it's not a reflection on me and my value and my worth. So someone's letting me down, maybe they don't have the capacity to be a good friend because they're struggling with other things in life, and maybe they're just not able to put themselves in someone else's shoes because they're selfish. But that in no way means that I am someone that doesn't deserve to have a good friendship or to be cared for or loved or feel secure. It just means that that person maybe can't give me that, but it doesn't mean that I can't have and don't deserve that, if that makes sense. I've come to try and think that everyone that you come into contact with and is in your life and then leaves and is here for a chapter and then goes has a purpose and has a reason. Sometimes you're looking for things in people that they can't give you and they're not meant to give you, and there are other people in your life that can serve that role or give you that thing you're looking for, and some people are just not meant to be someone that you have a deep connection with, but they're fine to be a person that you have fun with and see every now and then. And I think if you're seeking out something that maybe isn't meant to happen or isn't natural for that friendship, you can lead yourself to disappointment. So again, thinking about, what am I trying to get from this, and actually is it something that I need or want from that person, or can I find it somewhere else? And I've found that quite often when I change the way I view the world and how I think about things and how I engage with the world and engage with people, and I'm thinking positive that I can do this and I'm going to have a chance at this, I'm going to have a shot at this thing I'm applying for, I can, win this deal, I can get this job, I will be able to make friends with this person, I am going to be successful, and I stop thinking negatively and tearing myself down and looking at the negatives, the sooner I start to see those things come and attract themselves to me. Honestly, sometimes I'll be down and beaten up and I've given up and I can't be bothered, and then I'll say, you know what, today I'm going to just be positive and hope for the best. And then suddenly I get 2 emails about, do you want to work with us on this deal? Or I get someone saying, oh, have you heard about this opportunity? I think you'd be great for it. Or someone adds me on LinkedIn and says, just, you never know. Or like someone will say to me, oh, I was talking to someone, they mentioned they're doing this thing and I think it'd be great for you, and you get connected to that person, and next thing you know, you're working with someone, it's a new door's opened. And I think, of course, there can be confirmation bias, but generally I do believe that my mindset and your mindset can really heavily affect how you engage with the world and what comes towards you. And I do think that sometimes we can be trapped in being negative and believing that nothing's going to happen, and then nothing happens, and then we just stay in that cycle. But trying to force yourself out of that thinking is hard. But for me, I have noticed a very clear difference with how I view myself and how I think about my value and luck and my potential future in the world, and then how that future comes to manifest. But I think the main thing, and I'll end with this, is that it's all about learning to love yourself. I think when you are able to love yourself, wherever you are, whatever's happening to you, whatever day it is, no matter how you're feeling, and say that I am worthy and I deserve to be loved and I'm trying my best and I'm a good person and I deserve to be happy, it really just changes everything else. Because you can be having the worst week of your life, but if you can love yourself, make yourself feel good, and surround yourself with people that make you feel good, and repeat to yourself mantras that help you feel comfortable and secure in yourself, that can do more than anything, because a lot of the things that we worry about and are concerned about are material and will come and go, but having a steadfast sense of self and love for yourself and belief in yourself is one of the most securing and validating things that you can have and do. And so I think I've been trying really hard to say to myself, you did good today, you tried your best today, you made a good effort today, and that is more than enough. And just speaking positively to myself. My inner voice and inner critic can be very negative and tear myself down and tell myself bad things, but actually I've been trying to think about myself in a way that is more loving and more genuine and more kind and more positive, and that has made me feel better, so that when I go to bed at night I can feel positive about myself and relate to myself in a positive way rather than negative and hating myself. Because I did get to that space with my appearance. I was hating myself and using my appearance as a way to tear myself down, and that was not healthy. So in summary, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And I think that's very true. Perspective is a huge thing, and the way you approach life is a huge thing as well. So try and change your perspective today. Change how you view yourself and how you look at yourself and how you love yourself, and see positive things come and find you. And it is simple as that. Your outlook will affect how you see the world, and if you can do that positively, you will see positive things, and it will change the way you feel day to day. Good luck with it. It's hard, but it's worth trying. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you on the next video.